Before you book a hotel in Malta, there are a few things you really need to know. And I'm not talking about which hotel has the nicest pool or the best breakfast spread. You'd think hotel choice wouldn't matter that much because Malta is small, meaning that you can stay anywhere and still get around easily, right? But here's the thing. People book hotels based on stars, photos, and price. But picture this. It's 7 a.m. There's drilling outside your window and buses idling below. Suddenly, that great deal doesn't feel so great anymore. This isn't about where to stay, it's about what to look out for, because the photos, the star rating, and even the location don't always tell the full story. Having lived in Malta, I heard the same complaints come up time and time again. Look, you know that Malta is tightly packed and roads are narrow and busy. Many hotels are also often wedged into spaces surrounded by things you won't see in the listing photos, like construction sites and busy roads with constant traffic. And let's not forget the bars that stay open until 3 a.m. You could book what looks like a gorgeous boutique hotel with stunning stonework and a rooftop terrace. 5 stars on the website. Beautiful reviews from 3 years ago. And then you get there and realize it's sandwiched between a nightclub and a building site. In Malta, the surroundings matter as much as the hotel itself, sometimes more. Because unlike, say, a resort in the Maldives where you're isolated and buffered from everything, here you're in the thick of it. And that can be wonderful or miserable depending on what you're expecting. Let's talk about star ratings for a second. In Malta, let's just say they don't always match what you'd expect. A 4-star hotel in Malta might feel like a solid 3-star somewhere else, or it might genuinely be lovely, but suffering from Malta-specific issues that stars can't capture. Then there's the marketing language. Sea view sounds amazing, but commonly in Malta, a sea view can mean just a glimpse of the sea if you lean out the window and twist your neck to the left. Or it could mean a technical sea view, say from the rooftop restaurant and not from your room. Centrally located might mean you're central to a busy junction with buses rattling past at 6 a.m. And photos, don't even get me started. Wide angle lenses are all the rage these days and make a shoebox look spacious. Lighting makes everything look brighter and newer than it is. And just like some 70-year-old Facebook users who use profile pictures of their 40-year-old selves, some photos are genuinely years out of date. This doesn't mean hotels are bad or trying to trick you. It just means you need to look deeper because what they show you is not always the best version of the truth. If I had to pick the single biggest complaint I hear from people who've stayed in Malta, it's the noise. I myself have had many sleepless nights because of boy racers, loud exhausts and motorbikes speeding up and down the bypass for nothing other than to irritate the locals. This all means soundproofing becomes more important, but you won't have that in the older hotels. Construction is also almost everywhere. This has been the case since forever. I remember visiting Malta for the first time in the 1980s, and it was the same back then. This can mean that workmen, cranes, and drills kick into action from 7 a.m. Then there's the nightlife. Areas like St. Julian's and Patcherville are packed with bars and clubs, and so if you're staying nearby, you're going to hear it. And not just over the weekends. Most likely every night during the busier periods. Even in quieter towns, you might find yourself near a local festa or a wedding venue, which means music, fireworks and celebrations going late into the night. Even rubbish collection can be loud and early in some areas. And it doesn't end there. You can sometimes experience an orchestra of church bells and delivery horns ranging from the gas man through to fish, milk and bread deliveries. So here's what you do. Check recent reviews, and I mean recent, like the last 3 months. Look specifically for mentions of noise, pull up Google Maps and switch to satellite view and see what's actually around the hotel. And do a quick search for the hotel name, plus the word noise. You'd be surprised what you may find. This one step can save your entire trip. Now, here's the good news. A lot of people think they need to be central, Slima St. Julian's Valletta, but honestly, you're rarely more than 30 to 60 minutes away from anything. What matters more is transport time, not distance. If you're near a bus route or have a car, you're golden. If you're tucked away in a quiet village with no direct connections, that's a different story. The point is this: you don't need to sacrifice comfort just to be close to everything. A peaceful hotel in Melilla or Marsa Schlock can be a better base than a noisy room in the heart of Slima. Comfort beats postcode in Malta every time. Before we continue, I'd like to share a discount code with my YouTube viewers, which will get you 20% off any of our handy ebook guides. Use code YouTube20 at checkout to get a 20% discount. The link is in the description. Now back to the episode. Reviews are helpful, but they're not the whole picture. First, they're subjective. One person's charming rustic vibe is another person's dated and run down. A lot of reviews are written during peak tourist season when hotels are at full capacity, staff are stretched thin, and things are just different. I mean, if you're going off season, your experience might not match. And be aware that some issues don't show up until you arrive. Examples: the construction next door that started 2 weeks ago, or the roadworks that weren't there when the last reviewer stayed, or when the new bar just opened downstairs. What I will always look for is patterns. If a handful of people mention the same issue, that's likely a concern, but just one bad review, that could just be a one-off. But to be sure, I personally like to filter reviews by most recent and lowest rating first, not because they're always right, but because that's where recurring issues show up. Also, pay attention to how management responds. Do they engage? Do they apologize and try to fix things? Or do they argue and deflect? That tells you a lot too. Some people are going to be more affected by these issues than others, and so if you fall into any of these groups, pay attention. If you're a light sleeper, noise is going to ruin you. Seriously, invest the time in research or bring the best earplugs money can buy. Families with young kids need to think about this too. If your toddler is woken up by traffic at dawn or kept up by club music at midnight, none of you are going to have a good holiday. Older travellers or anyone with mobility issues, check accessibility, but also check the area. Some hotels are up steep hills or have a lot of stairs, and that's not always obvious from photos. If you don't have a car, location matters more, because being isolated without transport can feel frustrating pretty fast. You want to be nearer to the bus stops, shops and restaurants, but perhaps not right in the heart of it all. And if you're staying longer than a few nights, all of this gets amplified. A bit of noise for a weekend, manageable. 2 weeks of it. I'm not saying any of this to scare you. I'm just helping you be aware so that you can plan and be as prepared as possible. If you remember nothing else from this video, remember this simple pre-booking checklist. 1. Check recent reviews, last 3 months if possible. Look for patterns, especially around noise, cleanliness and accuracy of photos. 2. Pull up the satellite view on Google Maps. See what's actually surrounding the hotel. Is it sandwiched between buildings, next to a main road, near construction? 3. Understand the area, not just the hotel. What's the vibe? Is it quiet or lively, residential or touristy? This matters more than you think. 4. Be realistic about price versus expectations. If it's cheap, there's usually a reason. That doesn't mean it's bad, but manage your expectations accordingly. 5. Don't rely on star ratings alone. Look at real feedback, real photos from guests, and trust your gut. These 5 simple things may take an extra 10 minutes or so of your time, but they can potentially save you days of frustration. Let me be clear that Malta can be an incredible place to visit. The history, the food, the coastline, it's all there. But a bad hotel choice can really put a damper on the whole experience. You don't want to spend your holiday exhausted, frustrated, or wishing you'd done more research. The good news: a little bit of digging goes a long way. You don't need to be paranoid. You just need to do a bit of research and be informed. So take the time, ask the questions and check the details. If you're planning a trip to Malta and if you're still deciding on where to stay, I've got other Malta videos on the channel that might help. If you've got any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. And with that said, I wish you a pleasant holiday and safe travels.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out our website if you're looking for more information and resources about relocating to Malta, or if you want to book a video consultation or purchase one of our handy ebook guides. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.